Hare. Yasodhanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yasodhanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopijana Vallabha Giri Bharadhari Gopijana Vallabha Giri Bharadhari Yasodhanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yasodhanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Om Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajacharya Ashtata Sarishri A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Shri Prabhupada Ki Shri Shri Gaurnitai Ki Shri Shri Krishna Balaram Ki Shri Radha Shavasudha Ki Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Transcendental Book Distribution Ki Jai Harinama Sankirtana Ki Shri Shri Radha Damodar Ki Go Premanandi, all glorious to the assembled devotees, all glories to Sri Guru and Gaurangi, all glories to Sri Prabhupada. Om Vishnu Vidar, Krishna Vastai Bhutale, Srimati Bhakti Vedanta, Swami Chinami, Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Vicharini Nivasesha Sanyavadi Pastacharya Shatani. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. So this morning we're reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 5, Text number 5. Kuroti karmani krita avatara yani atmatantra bhagavan tri adishaha yata sasaja agre idam nirviha sangstapya vritim jagataha vitate karoti kamani kritavataro yanyatmatantro bhagavan striyadisha yata sasajagra idam niviha sangstapya viting jagato vidate karoti karmani kritatvataro yanyatmatantro bhagavan trayadisha yata sasajagra idam niriha sangstapya viting jagato vidate karoti karmani kritatvataro yan vyatmatantro bhagavan trayadisha yata sasajagra idam niriha sangstapya viting jagato vidate
karoti karmani
कृतावतारो
यान्यात्मतन्त्रो भगवान् त्रयादिशः यथा ससर्गजाग्र इदं निरः संस्थाप्य वृत्तिं जगतो विदिते
karoti karmani kritatvataro Mataji's karmani kritatvataro yanyatmatantro bhagavan trayadisha tasasajaga sangstapya viting jagato vidate
karoti karmani कृतावतारो यान्यात्मतंत्रो भगवान् सत्यदीशः Yathasastajaridam niriha. Samstapya vritim jagato vidatte. Karoti karmani vitavadaro. Jnanyata tantro bhagavan sadesha. Yathasastajaridam niriha. Samstapya vritim jagato vidatte.
Karoti does them. Karmani, transcendental activities. Krita, by accepting. Avataraha, incarnations. Yani, all those. Atmatantraha, self-independent. Bhagavan, the personality of Godhead. Sri Adishaha, the Lord of the three worlds. Yatha, as much as. Prasarja, created. Agre, at first. Idam, the cosmic manifestation. Nirihaha, although desireless. Sangstapya, by establishing. Vritim, means of livelihood. Jagataha, of the universes. Vidate, as he regulates. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. O great sage, kindly narrate how the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the independent, desireless Lord of the three worlds and the controller of all energies, accepts incarnations and creates the cosmic manifestation with perfectly arranged, regulated principles for its maintenance. Purport. Lord Krishna is the original personality of Godhead from whom the three creative incarnations, namely the Purusha avatars, Karanana Vashai Vishnu, Garbho Dakshai Vishnu, and Kshiro Dakshai Vishnu, expand. The whole material creation is conducted by the three Purushas in successive stages under the external energy of the Lord, and thus material nature is controlled by him. Thinking material nature to be independent is like seeking milk from the nipple-like bags on the neck of a goat. The Lord is independent and desireless. He does not create the material world for his own satisfaction, as we create our household affairs to fulfill our material desires. Actually, the material world is created for the illusory enjoyment of the conditioned souls who have been against the transcendental service of the Lord since time immemorial. But the material universes are full in themselves. There is no scarcity for maintenance in the material world because of their poor fund of knowledge. The materialists are disturbed when there is an apparent increase of population on the earth. Whenever there is a living being on the earth, however, his subsistence is immediately arranged by the Lord. The other species of living entities who far outnumber human society are never disturbed for maintenance. They are never seen dying of starvation. It is only human society that is disturbed about the food situation, and to cover up the real fact of administrative mismanagement, take shelter in the plea that the population is excessively increasing. If there is any scarcity in the world, it is a scarcity of God consciousness. Otherwise, by the grace of the Lord, there is no society, no scarcity rather, of anything. End of purport by Srila Prabhupada. Can you bring me a copy of the first canto, Srimad Bhagavatam, and Sri Isopanishad? If we have one, I think you have one or two copies here of the Isopanishad, one of our prime books of distribution, isn't it? Do you distribute the Isopanishad? Is it in the various sets that you distribute? Very good. Sri Isopanishad. So this purport, this verse, continues. Thanks, Paul. Continues the wonderful, as we heard yesterday, for the sake of the numerous neophyte devotees. Vidura is inquiring like this. He's approached Maitreya to, out of mercy, out of compassion, the fallen conditioned souls, by asking questions which are relevant to the welfare of all living entities. There's a beautiful verse in the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Munayo sado prishtoham bhavadbir lokamangalam yat krita krishna samprashne yenatmasi prasidati. You know that verse? Let me read the exact translation. We don't miss a beat. It's in the second chapter of the first canto. Pages might fall over. And the second chapter is entitled, of the first canto. What is the title of the second chapter? Pardon? Very nice. Divinity and Divine Service. And we sometimes hear, and we've heard that Prabhupada said that actually the essence of all the Bhagavatam is contained, at least the approach to the Srimad Bhagavatam is contained in this second chapter. Everything is there, the process of devotional service, the method of understanding the absolute truth, the process itself, and what is the absolute truth is summarized, and clearly summarized, very clearly in this second chapter. Practically everything is here for aspiring devotee. Let's see, where is this? Number 5, I think. I think it's verse 5, 4 or 5, maybe 4. Number 5, here it is. So in this case, again, a similar scenario is found, although of course the details are very different, the numbers are different. Here we have an inquiry made by the sages, Samat Rishi, and the sages of Naimisharanya are inquiring from Sutta Goswami. A similar thing. And after being inquired, requested by the sages, after being approached and asked questions by the sages, Sutta Goswami said, "O sages, I've been justly questioned by you. Your questions are worthy because they relate to Lord Krishna, and so are of relevance to the world's welfare. Only questions of this sort are capable of completely satisfying the self. And let's see, should we read the purport? We'll read some of it. Up in the second paragraph says, the whole world is full of questions and answers. The birds, the beasts, and men are all busy in a matter of perpetual questions and answers. In the morning, the birds in the nest become busy with questions and answers. And in the evening, also the same birds come back and again become busy with questions and answers. The human being, unless he is fast asleep at night, is busy with questions and answers. The businessmen in the market are busy with questions and answers. And so also the lawyers in the court. Where's our lawyer? Is he here today? Pardon? Oh, he's cooking the breakfast. Oh, very good job for a lawyer. And the students in the schools and colleges. Where's Naveen? Is he here? There he is. You in college? Lots of questions and some kind of answers are given. Whether they're real or not, but they give some answer of some kind. And the politicians and the press representatives are all busy with questions and answers. Although they go on making such questions and answers for their whole life, they are not at all satisfied. Satisfaction of the soul can only be obtained by questions and answers on the subject of Krishna. We'll go down a little bit. I need to read the whole purport, maybe. Yeah, we'll read the remainder of the purport. Krishna is our most intimate master, friend, father, or son, an object of conjugal love. Forgetting Krishna, we have created so many objects of questions and answers, but none of them are able to give us complete satisfaction. All things but Krishna give temporary satisfaction only. So if we are to have complete satisfaction, we must take to the questions and answers about Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam, you could say, is primarily based on this principle, isn't it? Questions and answers. Throughout the whole Bhagavatam, practically speaking, we see this principle. It's not just someone speaking. They're responding to the questions of others. And this is the relationship of guru-disciple, isn't it? What does Krishna say in the Bhagavad Gita? Very good. Huh? What does that in English language? Just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. And then? In the truth. So submissive inquiry is the secret. And then, of course, acting on that submissive inquiry is not enough just to know something. You also have to use that knowledge. You have knowledge. How to cook is not going to satisfy the hunger. You won't, just by knowledge alone. It's not. We have to know how to utilize that knowledge. So it becomes productive. This approach to spiritual master, we inquire, and then you're supposed to follow what we hear. The idea. See the truth. At our stage, they're seeing the truth, but they're seeing the path to the truth. That which will lead to the truth. I guess you have something in America called a mazes. Maze is sometimes in parks or some kind of recreation center. They have a maze. And, you get lost, isn't it? Basically, it all looks the same. And you're asking next person, how do I get out of here? I don't know. I'm also lost. Nobody really knows, because it's bewildering. You can't see where the path goes. It's maybe 8 feet high bush or something. Thick bush. You can't see through it. And you can't see at the end whether it's dead end or some way out. You can't see until you get there. And then it's kind of a bit of fun, you could say, but from one perspective it's quite frustrating. And the material world, everyone's questioning which way. They go down another dead end, another dead end. On and on it goes. But if somebody is above the maze, and have a little intelligence at least, they can see, they can give you direction how to get out. Go, no, go down that one. Turn left at the end, not right. They can see how to get out of the maze. The material world is like a maze. It's also amazing, but it is a maze. Everything about Krishna's energies are amazing. The soul is described as amazing by Krishna himself. Amazing. Everything's amazing. Krishna's amazing. The material world is also amazing. It's like a maze. So we need help to guide us out. Even in ordinary dealings, we need guidance. Isn't it? You try to work something out, and whatever it is, a mobile phone or something, you need some guidebook how to use it. We need some guidance. And spirit. So the whole Bhagavatam is like that. Even they may be self-realized souls like Vidura, Arjuna, the Gita, of course, asking questions for the welfare of all. And their questions are directly pertaining to the personality of God. It's just like today, Vidura is asking Maitreya to talk about the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is independent, and so on and so forth. He wants to hear about the incarnations of Godhead. The same principle was there right in the beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam. If we go to the first chapter, let's read the questions of the sages. All blessings unto you, O Suta Goswami. You know for what purpose the personality of Godhead appeared in the womb of Devaki as the son of Vasudeva. O Suta Goswami, we are eager to learn about the personality of Godhead and his incarnations. Here's another important word, eager. One should be eager to hear. Enthusiastic to hear. Enthusiasm is such an important utsahan, Daryat is such an important utsaha, important aspect of progress in any walk of life. If you're not really enthusiastic, you don't really get very far in any direction. Maybe sleep. But otherwise, you've got to be enthusiastic. So this enthusiasm is mentioned here. We are eager, very eager to learn about the personality. Please explain to us those teachings imparted by previous masters. It's not just somebody's speculation. This is the other process. Seeing the truth is more than just eyes seeing the truth. One sees through the eyes of Shastra and through disciplic succession. and applies those principles, then the truth is revealed. But please explain to us those teachings imparted by previous masters. For one is uplifted by both speaking them and by hearing them. Just to hear it is very enlivening, as we see at the end of the Bhagavad Gita. Sanjaya, what does he say? Here's the Bhagavad Gita. Let's see what Sanjaya says. Open it to the 18th chapter, maybe text number 70. Let's have a look. Are you going through it page by page or something? There we go. More than 7. Oh, there's more verses in this chapter. Later. No, actually. Sanjaya said, text 74, "Thus have I heard the conversation of two great souls, Krishna and Arjuna. And so wonderful is that message that my hair is standing on end." Wonderful message. By the mercy of Vyas, I have heard these most confidential talks directly from the master of all mysticism, Krishna, who is speaking personally to Arjuna. O King, I repeatedly recall this wondrous and holy dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna. I take pleasure being thrilled at every moment. Thrilled at every moment, just hearing the dialogue. Amazing. O King, as I remember the wonderful form of Lord Krishna, I am struck with wonder more and more, and I rejoice again and again. That was Sanjaya's reaction from hearing the dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna. So just by hearing, as it says here, these questions and answers are for the welfare of all living entities. They're relishable. Just to hear these conversations between these pure devotees of the Lord. Absolutely amazing. So then the sages say, well, they said that one is uplifted both by speaking them and by hearing them. That's text 13. And then in text number 14, oh, look at this. Well, let's read them all. They're so uplifting. Living beings who are entangled in the complicated meshes of birth and death, which means everyone in the material world, can be freed immediately by even unconsciously chanting the holy name of Krishna, which is feared by fear personified. O Sutta, those great sages who have completely taken shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord can at once sanctify those who come in touch with them, whereas the water of the Ganges can sanctify only after prolonged use. Who is there, desiring deliverance from the vices of the age of quarrel, who is not willing to hear the virtuous glories of the Lord? His transcendental acts are magnificent and gracious, and great learned sages like Narada sing of them. Please therefore speak to us, who are eager, again the word eager, to hear about the adventures he performs in his various incarnations. O wise Sutta, please narrate to us the transcendental pastimes of the Supreme Godhead's multi-incarnations. Such auspicious adventures and pastimes of the Lord, the Supreme Controller, are performed by his internal powers. We never, this is a lovely verse, we never tire of hearing the transcendental pastimes of the personality of Godhead, who is glorified by hymns and prayers, Those who have developed a taste for transcendental relationships with him relish hearing of his pastimes at every moment. You can go on and on. But these wonderful questions which incite, because of their attitude, their submissive, enthusiastic attitude, they incite Sutta Goswami to speak this message of Bhagavatam. Submissive inquiry draws this desire, or this inclination to speak on these topics more and more and more. So in this particular verse which we've read here today, text number 5, it doesn't deal so much with the subject matter, you could say, of questions and answers, but the whole section is aimed at that. Making the right inquiry from the right person. And then everything will become the same in material dealings. If we want to go somewhere, we inquire in the right person. Not somebody who doesn't know, somebody who's speculating. If you want to achieve or acquire something, you go to a place where they're supposed to know. You want to know about your tax returns. You don't go to the bakery shop or the petrol station, the gas station as you call it. You go to the tax office. You're supposed to know. If they don't, they're supposed to refer to someone who does. Questioning, doubting is intellectual, is intelligence, is a way of worshipping the Lord. Krishna says one worships me with his intelligence in Bhagavad Gita. Worshipping with our intelligence by this inquiring, trying to understand what is the answer to these numerous questions. And it's not so important to ask all these little questions that people ask. Mundane subject, some degree has to be there for sustenance, for direction. The real questions should be ascertained or presented to somebody who really knows the purpose of life. And their questions should be relevant. You don't go to a spiritual master to ask questions about the weather or, mundane topics. Who should I vote for in the election? Nothing mundane. We should really understand that we are very eager to really fulfill the real purpose of human life. The temporary purposes have to be dealt with. And no doubt, if you want to get married or you want to do something, you inquire from somebody who can give that kind of guidance. They have to be dealt with. It's not the goal of life. It's just like if you have a car and you don't know much about it, and something's wrong, it's not working properly, you ask a mechanic. But the goal of the car is not just to ask a mechanic how to fix it. The goal of the car is to go somewhere, to reach somewhere. So like that, we may have to do certain things in our lives, inquire from somebody about whatever, some problems we're having, doubts we're having. Not the goal of life, that's just to facilitate our journey, our path towards the goal. Work, ashram, whole Varnashram system is geared like that, to clear the way, help to clear the way so we can attain. You'll know, as you've read, also in the second chapter of this first canto, the objective goal of the Varna ashram. What is that? Goal of the Takshri Krishna Namadi? No. Tak Pumbir Dvija Shrestha Varnashrami Vibhagashrami. So what is that goal? Of all the works we perform according to our ashram, our Varna and our ashram, what is the goal? What is the goal? To make a nice society? To feel good? to accommodate. The other part of this purport of Prabhupada today was dealing largely with the misconception that there's overpopulation. Who's going to feed everyone, and so on and so forth. In a godless society, this type of, let's say, faithless doubts come in. And who understands the relationship of everything with the Supreme Being doesn't have such fear or doubts. He knows that Krishna's in control of everything. Nothing happens without his will. So what is the goal of the Varnashram? Pardon? Sangsit here haritoshnam. It literally means to please, satisfy the Supreme Lord Hari. That's the goal of everything, is to please Him. Whatever it is, that's the real purpose behind it. So many things have to be done, no doubt, to help us in that endeavor, or even to bring us to that conclusion. But they of themselves are not the goal. Any sports match, there are many things that have to be done, but the whole purpose behind it is the goal, to win the game, to score the goal, whatever you call it. The target, hit the target. So the target is Sansidhira Toshna. Unfortunately, many people in this world, even they may be following some well-organized system. Dharma system. Let's go. Let's read it. Also in the first canto. Beautiful statements of Sutta Goswami, the second chapter, where he says, Dhamma sujana pungsam vishvaksena katasi no padiyadidiyuting shama evi kevalam. That the activity a man performs, and even according to our own position, we may be well situated, ashram, varna, everything. But if we don't awaken our attraction to the personality of Godhead, what are they? Useless. Shrama eva hi kevalam. What's the value of it? There's no value. You have to take birth again. You have to stay in this world of birth and death. The whole purpose is to get out of this cycle, of this illusion. As Prabhupada said in today's purport, that this material world is a very significant point, isn't it? Exists only because, we didn't say that, but he says that elsewhere in the second canto actually. Exists only because of the errant desires of the living entity. It has no other purpose. Most people think this is it, this is the truth. But it's not. If you're born in a prison and you only know a prison, you've never heard of any, well, you may have heard of something outside of it, but you don't believe it exists. You're like a frog in a well. Then that's your world, that's your reality, and you just adjust to it, or try to. The material world for the jiva, for the soul, is just like that. It's not our real home, it's asat. The spirit soul is sat, not asat. It's eternal. But this material world, everything appears temporary. And this material world is full of fear because of the temporary nature, due to the influence of time. The living entity is put under the control of the Lord's expansions, the Mahavishnu and so on, create this universe under the influence of Maya. With the direction of time, everyone is controlled. And we're completely covered. Maya covers our memory, covers our understanding, and causes us to identify with the creation of the Lord, this reflective creation, material energy. We become entrapped and entangled and enamored, and foolishly enamored. Again and again, like we don't learn very easy, although we are sufficiently experienced. What's that verse in the second canto? Deha patrapilatatishu. No, that's not it. Forgot. Although says Atmasanyas Satsapi. Where? What's the first line? Pardon? I can't hear you. Yeah, I'm sure you got it. I couldn't hear what you said the first line, but you got the second line, so it must be right. Although sufficiently experienced, Leviantis still do not learn. We don't realize this material futile endeavor, dead cert, is just a futile endeavor to try to enjoy this material world. It's not. What can you enjoy in this material world? How can you enjoy a reflection? It's just a mental concoction, practically, or a shadow. You realize there's nothing really. There's a mirage in the desert. They're always thinking, yes, we will get there soon. We will get there soon. We will find a way, don't worry, to solve all the problems. Problems are increasing, not decreasing. No, we're solving the problems. Now, so many wonderful things we've created. We've invented the car. I mean, this is a bit ancient. There's so many more modern things. When I was in Melbourne a few years ago, one very old personality was telling me that he still lives in the same place. He was 80 or 90 years old. He said when he was young, he used to go to the city on a horse. He lived like 20 kilometers out or something. He used to ride a horse every day to the city. And it took him, a long time. It took him about an hour. He says, really good, now we've got a car. It only takes me 60 minutes. If I'm lucky. Depending what time of the day it is. It's nice, huh? It took an hour before, now it only takes 60 minutes. Or 60 minutes before, maybe the other way around sounds better. Now it only takes 1 hour. It's the same. You're going from the same place to the same place. And probably takes longer, actually. Traffic jams can be unbearable sometimes. Very, very convenient, isn't it? Very nice. And, on the way, by the way, you had a ticket for crossing the red lights, another ticket for parking in the wrong place, another one for going down the wrong way in a one-way street, and another one for trying to beat the jam by going too fast. And then someone breaks the back window of your car and steals everything out of it. And you're stuck in a traffic jam for 1 hour. Honk, honk. Very nice lifestyle. Very nice. Very convenient. Stuck in an office all day, you park your car underground. You hardly see the sunlight. You go up into your office, work there all day, horrible environment. Go home at night, stuck in a traffic jam, get home. Your wife's equally disturbed because she's been doing the same thing. The kids are screaming because, you're in a disturbed condition and they're, bored, fed up with life. You get angry with the kids and the kids, scream more. And you take it out on the wife or the wife on the husband, and here's a glorious life. But don't worry, the television's there and you can just bury yourself in the TV and have a nice nightmare. Or go to the pub and have a nice, get drunk. Great life. It's really, really fun. And once a year you can save up all your money and go to some holiday resort or something there. Try to enjoy yourself for a few days on the beach, somewhere or another. It's such a shame people are so ignorant of the real purpose of human life. Most people's idea of human life is to make money or to have a nice home family life, which is not always easy to get. Live a long life, be healthy. But these things are very unpredictable. Even if you're rich, they're not guaranteed by any means. They're very less likely to fulfill your actual inner heart's desires, even if you have all these wealth and fame and strength, and you name it. And behind the scenes is often a very depressed, frustrated living entity. And even when given the chance to wake up, in many cases, people are not interested. No time. No time. I'm not interested. They're unfortunate. People are so unfortunate. It says, as the sages say, in Kali Yuga, in this age of Kali, people are so lazy. Oh, that's a really prominent characteristic. I'm also very lazy. I realized this morning I was just downright lazy. Here we go. A nice famous verse, Manda Samanda Matiyo Manda Bhagavad Padita. O learned one, in this iron age of Kali, men have but short lives. Women too, by the way, don't just think of men. Maybe they say women live a little longer, I don't know. What's the use of a long life if we don't inquire about the Absolute? If we remain attached to this material, better have a short life. It's more karma. Feeding people in distress is kind of materially pious, but unless there's Krishna consciousness there, you're just increasing that karma. You're eating sin. In time, you're becoming more dependent on the illusion. The whole purpose of this movement is to wake up, to wake us up, wake others up, come to our senses. Taking shelter, Atmasanyasva Satsapi, taking shelter of the fallible soldiers is not, that means family members, society, mundane teachers, etc. The armed forces is not going to help us at all. They need to be there maybe, but they can't protect us. It's like taking shelter of a stone boat. It's described maybe by Prahlad Maharaj. Either the doctor can save us, no one can save us from death and karma. Only surrendering to Krishna, taking shelter of devotional service, hearing from a pure devotee, eager to hear. And we also have to be eager to get out of this illusion. Yeah. You don't want to be like an elephant bathing one moment and then eager to roll in the mud the next minute. And you have to be eager not to become captivated. Get out of this trap of the material world. So men are very short-lived. We haven't got much time. Don't take it for granted. You may be 20, 25, 30 years old now, whatever you are, in this body, so to speak. Oh, it's okay, I've got a lot of time. But time passes very fast, and we don't even know if we're going to reach that stage anyway. Death can come at any moment. It's not guaranteed it's going to be in 50, 60 years' time. Could be in a moment's time. Could be in a moment. You have no idea. Yeah. As we know, and later on in Kali Yuga, 20, 30 years of age in this human so-called body is considered an old man. We're kind of still got a bit of a chance. We can sometimes live 70, 80, 90 years sometimes. But what's the use of it? You see old people sitting around. What do they do here in America, old people? What do they do? Pardon? Play golf. Well, that's if they're lucky. If they can still walk. Pardon? Huh? Watch the news. Oh my God, what a torture. Pardon? Crossword puzzles, okay. And what else? They play this ball. I don't know if they do this. In England they play these balls, you know, they can hardly walk and stand. They have these round balls and they have this green kind of roll of these balls to try to hit another ball. And they end up, you know, Harry Ball. Horrible, not Harry Ball, horrible. Games, sitting around playing some bingo, okay, you have bingo here too. Bingo, Prabhupada talks about bingo. They like to sit, the old ladies, mostly the old ladies. Bingo. You go in the bin. In the bin you go. Another bin. Bin go. In English language. And what do the young people do now? Someone was telling me the other day that there's, video games. They can't sleep at night because they're so busy all night long playing these video games. Even the university students. They get up at 1 o'clock or something in the afternoon. That's what they're doing. Can you imagine? Isn't there anything better to do in your life than sit there and play video games for 8 hours during the night? And you say you've got no time. You're so busy that almost everyone walks along with one of these mobile phones, doing something. It's a shame that we have such a valuable human life. It's not meant for that. Kamasya nendiya pritirabuti. Metta jivasya tapta jignasa. Inquiry, eager inquiry into the nature of the real purpose of life, the absolute truth. So what else are they? They're short-lived. And we got a short life. You can die any moment. It's a dangerous world. Isn't it? Kamala dala jala jiva talamala. Like a drop of water on a lotus leaf. Can fall off any moment. We can fall down. People may have bikram nashasi, and if somehow or another, if they can just get this little chance, give them a chance. Bring my computer. Bring my computer. Give them a chance. People have to be given a chance to get out of this cycle. Even if they don't take it, we still have to give them a chance. Because their lives, they may not even last in the womb, yeah? You know that how many people are killed in the womb every day? Abortions. You know how many? Well, they have official figures. It will be about 30, 40,000 every day. But that's the official figure. The unofficial figure, which is the unofficial, because so many abortions are done unofficially, is generally estimated around about, I think about, it's 50 million a year, whatever that comes to. It may not be the same figure daily. About 50 million abortions a year. What to speak of the 8 billion fishes that are being slaughtered every day. Every day, 1 fish per person is killed, on average. So they estimate. That's their estimates. Imagine 8 billion fish a day. That's a lot of fish. Most of them are just thrown back in dead, back into the ocean. Guess the sharks eat them. And hundreds, millions and millions of animals slaughtered daily. Isn't it? It's hardly surprising there's so much suffering and people's minds are so dull and so almost incapable of relating to spiritual subjects. Almost incapable. Hey man, what's this all about? He lies down on his own heart. What's this all about? He lies down on his own heart, spread in the form of the sky. What are you guys on, some kind of drugs or something? He lies down on his, that's what it says here, on his own heart, spread in the form of the sky, and thus placing the whole creation in that space. He expands himself into many living entities. What are people going to make of that? I mean, your brains are probably going, what does that mean? Or anyway, also trying to be devoted is mind-blowing. Wow, what does that mean? We have, some mercy, some faith or whatever. Very difficult for people. They're so conditioned. Kali Yuga, they're also very quarrelsome. Have you ever noticed that? Even devotees sometimes are quarrelsome. Isn't it? We quarrel over no value whatsoever in the quarrel. It serves no purpose. And there may be some space for everything, but most of the quarrels have meaningless. Lazy, as you said. Lazy. just want to just downright lazy. Surrender and do what Krishna wants. I want to do what I feel like. Resort to the so-called easy path, but it's not the easy path. It's the path that keeps one in the prison house of illusion. Misguided, lazy materially, but certainly lazy spiritually. Young people nowadays, whatever they are, but it's a very common saying that materially they're very lazy. Hard to get. I don't know what it's like. I don't know what's going on here. We've got some magic here or something, but I see you all like to go out on Sankirtan. You seem to be busy. Are they lazy or are they busy? They're busy. They're busy. A lot of the times many times, 2 hours, 3 hours service is too much. You know? Come on, you asked me to go to the morning program and you want me to do service as well? This is slavery, you know. I'm going to make a complaint to the authorities. It happens. Incredible. You think that, 2 or 3 hours I'm finished. I'm so poorly, weak in the stage. Misguided, well, that speaks for itself. Unlucky, lucky in the sense of, what would you mean by unlucky? How would that be interpreted? Unlucky. Yeah? The hand went up, let the hand speak.
They meet the subject and devotee and they don't take it.
Well, that's a good example, isn't it? They don't take advantage of it when they get the opportunity. They're so unlucky. It's a good example, I think. Or, like so many people get offered prasadam yesterday, and so even Indians, so many of them refusing to take it, They just, I don't know what they think. It's ordinary food, or they don't like you, or something, or they're afraid of being delivered from the material tabernacle or something. I'll lose my material pleasures or something. I'm going to touch that. Oh, it's always offered by a malecha. Malecha. Low-class person. I'm a Brahmin. Very unlucky. Of course, there's karma involved in everything, but it's kind of unlucky when we get that opportunity to change, but we don't take it. Very unfortunate. Unlucky, and above all, always disturbed. That speaks for itself. When we arrived at that Walmart yesterday, Gita Girish, where's Gita Girish? Where is he? Huh? Where is he? Oh, he's doing the offering. And was it David with him? Was it you? And I don't know if you saw the 2 people there. We were with Ramdas. And there were 2 people, one kind of rather run-down looking man, the kind of a basket of things walking around. And one lady, she was, and Ramdas, I guess he spoke to her and he said, she wants to speak to you, Maharaj. And so she suddenly came and spoke to me, and I couldn't understand what she was saying, not a word of it. And she was so disturbed. Totally. Did you see her? She was so disturbed. Oh, there you go. You remember that lady in that first Walmart car park? So disturbed. Whatever she said, I said something, she got even more disturbed. It was like, she was just disturbed. There was no reason to be disturbed, but she was just disturbed, full stop. This is Kali Yuga. So difficult to get out. And there's only one solution to all of this. People got, even though they're not willing, not able, you could say on their own, that's for sure. But the mercy of the devotees is such, and people don't even appreciate that at all, practically. Most people, some people do. Most people don't. And one of them, going through the notes, but one of the notes came the other day. See if we can find it. I don't know if it's still there. Ah, yeah. Okay, this is from the Srimad Bhagavatam. 5th canto. Somehow or another, if one is attracted to Krishna, whatever he does in devotional service is a permanent asset. Even if one falls down due to the immaturity or bad association, his devotional assets are never lost. There are many examples of this, Jamio, Maharaj Bharat, and many others. This Krishna conscious movement is giving everyone a chance to engage in devotional service for at least some time. A little service will give one an impetus to advance and thus make one's life successful. Pure devotees are seeing long term, they're not just seeing right this minute. They also do that for other reasons, but ultimately they're seeing the long run. That anyone who gets just a little time, even if they say no to prasadam, at least they saw it. They saw devotee. Or they said no to the book. There's a certain element of fortune there, but it's going to be delayed. Somewhat delayed, depending on their reaction. But somehow or another, they saw the devotee, they saw a book. They may have even touched it. The International Society of Krishna Consciousness is giving such a chance to humanity at large. That's from the Nectar of Instruction, actually. Prabhupada's text number 3, so he's talking about what's he talking about? The positive, favorable qualities. The International Society for Krishna Consciousness is giving such a chance to humanity at large. If by fortune one takes advantage of this opportunity to engage in devotional service, the path of liberation immediately opens. So this Krishna consciousness movement is for giving a chance to everyone to come to his original form of life, Satchidananda Vigraha, and meet God face to face and engage in his service. Here is the chance. You come to the temple, engage in the temple service. Naturally your mind will be absorbed in Krishna. This temple is open, not for making a farce. It's just to make this process, Niveshita Atma, always absorbed in Krishna thought. That is the process, always. 24 hours a day, Kirtaniya Sadahari. So these are some of it, there's many more. But when Prabhupada said it, that's what our business is. To take that chance and to give that chance to others. Got nothing to lose. What are you going to lose? What is it to lose? Tell us. The mobile phone. What have you got to lose? That's terrible. You tell that to people, will they buy the book? If you buy this book, you're going to lose all your material, everything. You're not going to be able to enjoy this material world anymore. You won't be able to go to heaven. Are they attractive? You'll lose all your interest in sense gratification. Death. For most people, that's death. I'm sure you get people. I don't know what they say in France, but in Western countries, that's a regular thing. Someone else, they hear about these 4 regulative principles, say, I'd rather die than do that. I'd rather die. There's no point living. You ever heard that one? What have you got to lose? Nothing. In one sense, we haven't got anything because nothing really belongs to us anyway. That's another angle of realization to understand. I was going to read, but we won't. Isha Upanishad, everything belongs to Krishna. Isn't it? When we realize that everything belongs to Krishna, you've got nothing to lose because you don't have anything. You only have that relationship with Krishna. No one, if you don't want, no one can take that away. If you want to turn the tap off, that's up to you. But it's not lost, it's your choice. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Do you know this mantra? Have you taught them this mantra? Hare Krishna, You've heard it before? See if you can repeat after me. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Pretty good. I've noticed in America people easily chant Hare Krishna when you say Hare Krishna. Do you notice that? Not so easy in some places. In America, people are not shy. They're not usually very shy. It's quite easy to get them to say Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
You know the next line? Come on. Come on, don't be shy. Krishna, Krishna. Is it that bad? There's another line. What's that? Hari, Hari. That's the easy line. Oh, they're cheating again. Another propensity of Kali Yuga. Hare Rama.
Hare Rama.
Hare Rama.
Hare Rama.
It's a good one for the Muslims. Rama is a very common word in our language. Ramadan, so many Ramas. Huh? Ramsha? Oh, there's a truck now. The Ram comes up everywhere, isn't it? I don't know about in America, but in Europe there's like dozens and dozens of places where the word Ram comes up in public, you know. Shops, you know. Laundrorama, Cinerama, Autorama, this Rama, that Rama, Comfort Rama, there's different stores, Ramada Hotel. So many Ramas are everywhere. That's fortune. Even though people don't know it, they're getting good fortune. They're lucky. Here's where good luck comes in. They're just saying, can you tell me where the Ramada Hotel is? They get benefited. Where's the Laundrorama? In Sydney they have Sexorama. Still they're saying the name Rama. Somehow or another. Some benefits there. There's a simple mantra. Somehow to get people to sing or say or repeat this mantra. This is the medicine to cure all these ills, to remove the fears, the doubts, the illusions, and to awaken with us an attraction to something more than just the dream, the temporary dream of material existence. A wake-up call. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hari Bol. Jai Shri Prabhupada. Any questions? Any answers? Any answers? David.
I have a question regarding today's Prabhupada said that, and the verses also I think that Krishna is desireless, so I was just trying to understand like what did it mean? Krishna is desireless, and this verse
Krishna's everything. You see many times seeming contradictions are there in the personality of Krishna from a mundane perspective. He walks, he does not walk. He desires, he doesn't desire. So many things you can say, manifest, unmanifest. There's unlimited apparent contradictions there because he's everything. He's not just... So what does it mean, desire less? It means he's Atmarama. He's not dependent, he's independent. He's full of himself, completely. But everything is himself at the same time. So there's different ways of looking at that. From our perspective, we are not satisfied. We're not full in ourselves in one sense. We're in this situation of course, false identity, and we're trying to satisfy the constitutional nature which we all have, which we are, eternally blissful and so on and so forth. We're trying to fulfill that in this world, so there's constant the desire is within the very self. It's not something, the details of that desire are created by contact with the material energies and other conditioned souls, you could say. But the principle of desire is there in the actual living entity itself. Is inherent in the living being. That principle to be happy, the principle to know, the principle to live for eternity is constitutional. In this material, we're all busy asking questions in relationship, basically, to those three items, or those three constitutional characteristics. Well, Krishna is everything, and he's the source of everything. And he's also Atmarama, completely satisfied, the source of all knowledge, reservoir of pleasure. Of course, he's eternal. So for the self-realized soul, who has come to that platform also, he has no, let's say, desires. His desires are fulfilled because he's rightly situated, or they're rightly situated. Rightly situated. And one may say, well, that's kind of almost like an impersonalistic state, but it's not. For a devotee rightly situated in Krishna consciousness, there's no further desires. Of course, there's another angle, which is on the relationship side. If you ever heard or seen when a man, especially a woman, finds herself in a position with a husband who they really feel like they've got what they want. They feel all their desires have been fulfilled. That doesn't mean there's no more desire. There's a constant desire, but that desire is fulfilled within the realm of having fulfilled all your desires, so to speak. It's ever increasing, you could say, of the same desire, fulfillment of desire. It has no satiation. Unlike in the material world, every desire has a temporary effect, as Prabhupada was saying, and then it's over. You have to look for something else. In the spiritual world, it's ever the same satisfaction is ever increasing. So there's no desire outside of that. You're completely satisfied. Say, for instance, you're in a relationship with Krishna as a cowherd boy. And it's not like, oh God, this is so boring. I've been doing this for eternity. I think I'll be a gopi for a change. It's not like that. Oh, you're stood there as a, we heard about being a spark in the spiritual world the other day. How long have I got a sparkle, Isn't there something else I can do besides just be a spark or a blade of grass? And we're looking at it from a mundane perspective. There is a lot more to it than that. From a mundane perspective, no. When it's completely satisfied, I don't think it's boring like the material world. There's no time influence for one thing. There's no suffering. There's no anxiety. And that's constitutional. When something's constitutional, you're satisfied. You have no desire to step outside of your constitution. So you're satisfied. Within that, though, in the spiritual realm, within one's constitution, is unlimited variety. There's unlimited expansions of desires within that constitution of how to please Krishna more, how to bring more pleasure to the devotees from Krishna's point of view, and from the devotee's point of view, how to bring more pleasure to Krishna. So it's like a different way of looking at it. You're not desiring to become, like in a modern day age, many times you find people who are in one walk of life and then they desire another walk of life. They're fed up with that one, or they don't like it, they don't fit, or they're not getting enough money. There's some conditional reason. The devotee has no conditional reasons, no conditional desires. So from our perspective, it's understood to mean no conditional desire, unconditional devotional service. And on that platform of unconditional devotional service, we heard the other day that the result of that, by hearing, the spiritual master gives the guidance, the super soul's guidance comes through the spiritual master to guide us out of this world of false desires, material desires, towards the real desire, how to please Krishna or how to connect with Krishna. And then the Lord in the heart reveals that to the living entity. So, and that when one actually does come to that level of realization, then there's no desire for anything separate from that. There's no more desire, okay, what's next? Now what? You can see in the conversation between Ramananda Roy and Lord Chaitanya and Prabhu discussing high topics, you could say. But it starts with a practical discussion, questions and answers, practical. What is how can the goal of life be achieved? And it goes through the various stages there. And only up to the point when it comes to the topic Jnani Priyasam by this giving up the path of material or speculative path and taking full shelter of hearing and chanting from the right source, of course, without worrying about you have to keep changing the externals. It comes to the point where that's not required anymore. You just hear and chant. You're absorbed in hearing and chanting. Pure devotional service. There's no more hankering, there's no more desire for anything separate from that. And what comes from that, which is our relationship with Krishna. And then there's no more desire not to speak of material desire or desire for liberation. There's not even any desire to attain any other kind of even devotional liberation or the mode of service of another living entity, which may be different than the one that you're inclined to, a natural constitution. Complete satisfaction within that. And to a little degree we get some mother, when she's with her child, she thinks all her desires were fulfilled. We know that that's not absolutely true, but it feels like that to her. And then she desires to feed her child, to caress her child. So it's kind of like, it's the same thing. It's just part of that same fulfillment of desire, just the variety within it. Unlimited variety and desires to increase the pleasure of your child, to increase your relationship is ever increasing, you could say. It's the same thing. It's still like an acorn seed. Whatever comes from an acorn seed, a big tree grows, but it's come from the same source. It's not like, why have I become an oak tree or whatever it is? Why didn't I become a pine tree? No. We're completely satisfied. No more desire outside of that. For those great souls who come into this material dream state, they don't come into it with this. They appear to be in it for the sake of waking us up. It appears they have a lot of desires, but their desires are the same thing. Their desires are how to spread Krishna consciousness. They appear to suffer sometimes from the interaction or their being in this world. But their real suffering is only the paradukkha dukkha, that other living entities are not taking to Krishna consciousness. That's the mood of the pure devotee. And he's very desirous that they do. But that's all in relationship with Krishna. So from this perspective, it means no material desire. Only constitutional desires. Desires which are fulfilling Krishna's desire. And Krishna's desires are only those which fulfill the devotee's desires. No selfish desire whatsoever. Even Krishna, although he's satisfied, he has unending desires to satisfy his devotees. They're not, you could say they're his also, but from our perspective they're not. They want to please love. That's what love means. It means satisfying the desire of the beloved. It's not your desire. You have no desire. You only desire to see that their desires are satisfied, fulfilled. That's the path of bhakti or devotion. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Prabhupada. Okay? I don't know. Maybe. To think about it. Okay, well, we're finished there. Thank you all very much. We're leaving now. Shortly. 2 hours or so. I gotta go now to puja. So, thank you and apologize for being rather low-key and not very interactive. But I hope that your devotional service, your devotional creepers will blossom. And please be kind to us and give your kindness and good favor that we may somehow or other become able to follow your example of enthusiasm and keeping fully engaged, and distilling this merciful message to others. And keep your life simple. Try to keep your life simple. Don't try to get too complicated. Simple living, high thinking. Dave Amrita Maharaj has a saying, keep it simple, sadhu. Don't make everything so complicated. The nature of Maya, complexity, it's so complex. Hare Krishna. Chandan Chari Prabhu, is there anything you want to add?
Yes, thank you, Maharaj.
Okay, Hare Bol. Shri Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna.
So work cooperatively.